All right, what's up, everyone? A new episode of Sports Harder coming at you live on this Wednesday night to late nights. We like to do the late night show, for all those night owls out there. I am your host, as always, Maddie Lukewarm Ice, coming at you from my new home location. And then my co-host, as always, is Chris the Gorilla Binder.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, right here. Right here. Makes it makes it easier for us to meet up like this instead of being out so late. So it helps us to be able to hop right off and then be able to get some sleep for work the next day for us. So
Hey, wasn't it like Kung Fu Panda that they did like the
no
touch fingers?
Dragon Ball Z, like they would go
Oh,
like
and they
this and they
touch
would
fingers.
like they would fingers, and they'd fuse together. Yeah, they'd become one. So we would become ice gorilla ice.
An icy gorilla.
Icy gorilla, there you go. Lukewarm gorilla. Awesome. Well, we got a lot to cover tonight, and normally we start off with Major League Baseball playoffs and college football rankings, especially with everything that's been going on. But we have to get to the big news of the past couple days. Everything's been blowing up over it, and you know where I'm going with this. You got to know where I'm going with this.
JG.
Yeah, Gruden, the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders, officially stepping down and resigning, but he basically made a deal with the team and was like, hey, don't fire me, I'll resign. And I think they did that in a way too, so that way he can get some more money. I don't think he's walking away with no money. So
He is. So the resignation, he forfeited the last 6 years of his contract. So he had 6 years left, $60 million that he forfeited.
Well, I'm sure there's some money he's getting though, for at least for this year. Like, I'm sure he's not forfeiting this year's money.
So money aside, I'm gonna say right here, like, I don't condone the shit that he said. I don't condone it. I can't condone it. But it was a headhunt. There is 650,000 more emails in this investigation into the Washington football team that they're not releasing now. It was going after Jon Gruden because he called Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, a cocksucking faggot.
Yeah, and the racist remarks of the leader of the NFL Players Association.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, that could be taken as racist, and I don't know if he meant it in a racist manner. Doesn't change the fact that it's not racist. Like if the movie Clerks 2, when Randall puts porch monkey on his freaking shirt, and like he gets black people that are like pissed off because that's a racist slang towards black people.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, it's not a bad word. I'm trying to take it back. I'm trying to show that it's not a bad word. It doesn't matter how you say it. If it's a racist thing to somebody, if it offends somebody, it offends somebody. You don't get to choose the right if you offend somebody. Like, no matter what you say, like, you can go to somebody and be like, look, I wasn't trying to offend you. Maybe you need to grow a little like muscle or something to deal with it. But that wasn't my intention, was to offend you. But it doesn't mean that you didn't offend them. You don't get to choose how somebody else takes your words.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, this is kind of turning into Gruden being the sacrificial lamb. Like he is being martyred and sacrificed hard. Like they are coming down hard on him, and from all fronts. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers now officially saying they will remove him from the Ring of Honor. That's saying something, like that they're going that far with it. So I mean, with that, do you think like this is like going too far, or you think this is the right amount of like reaction over all of this, I guess you would say?
I have a very difficult time with this. Very, very difficult time. Because if it had been Hugh Jackson, Tony Dungy, Mike Tomlin that had sent those messages, we'd be having a different conversation. It's race baiting at its finest.
Yeah.
The reason I'm having a hard time with this is because the hammer's coming down because he's a white male. Like, they have to make an example of the white man. I'm white. I get it. I'm not trying to defend his actions. Yes, he screwed up. He needs to own that. He definitely screwed up. But the best way to say this is Deshaun Jackson's still in the league. Or not Deshaun Jackson, Deshaun Watson, still in the league. Ben Roethlisberger, still in the league. O.J. Simpson still has his number retired.
Yeah.
Brett Favre still has his number retired, still in the Hall of Fame. They don't have the same actions pulled onto them because they never went after the commissioner. That's the big difference. Gruden went after the commissioner and the owners.
Yeah, well, I mean, and he went after he had some homophobic remarks as well, taking back to the St. Louis Rams days when Jeff Fisher drafted Michael Sam. And he basically asked the commissioner in an email, why would you allow a football team to draft a queer on their team?
I saw that email.
Yeah.
I actually did look that up. He didn't ask him why he would allow it. He asked Roger Goodell, why are you pressuring a team to draft a queer when he's not the best person to play? Like, you pressured Jeff Fisher into drafting Michael Sam just because he's gay.
Yeah.
Because you wanted that highlight in the NFL. Like, he like the email, it was taken out of context because they only like reported part of it, but then they released the entire thing.
Yeah.
So you can go on and read the entire email, and he gets on Roger Goodell for simply pressuring Jeff Fisher into saying, hey, take Michael Sam because he's gay and it'll look great with the NFL instead of taking the player that's better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even NASA, I guess, reportedly needed some time off because he was shocked about what Gruden had said, and especially with NASA coming out, obviously.
Yeah.
So
he needed to kind of register what it was that he said.
Yeah.
Because
so,
I mean, he did say it wrong.
Now,
He did say it wrong. He's like, why are you pressuring him to draft queers when he could say, why are you pressuring him to draft somebody that's not as good as these other players just because of his sexual orientation?
Yeah.
Like that's a better way to phrase it. So he doesn't seem homophobic.
Yeah.
But because of the way he phrased it, definitely homophobic. And I get Carl Nassib taking a day off to, like, a personal day to kind of wrap his head around that, because Jon Gruden's the first guy he came out to. He's the first person he came out to, and Gruden pushed him to come out and was like, I have your back, I fully have your back. I want you to play on this team. And then all of a sudden he's gay bashing somebody else. I mean, let's be real. You're a Rams fan. How long did Michael Sam last?
I don't even think he made it through the cut. I think he got cut by the end of the preseason.
Yeah. He went into a practice squad, played one season on a practice squad.
I think with the Cowboys. I think he was on the practice squad with the Cowboys.
And retired.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I mean, that's
was a publicity stunt is all that was.
Yeah, the NFL is always trying to save face. They're always trying to push that they are accepting of everyone and all that jazz. And especially with all the racism and different things like that, they've been trying to push, obviously. So with this though, I mean, something doesn't seem right that, like, he's the only one getting in trouble. I feel like this is only touching the surface of how far this is going to go. Like, something just doesn't seem right that the NFL is just going to drop it after not firing him, but after making him resign, basically. I know the Raiders owner had no comment other than to say that the NFL has all the answers, so go ask them. So obviously he's being pressured by the NFL. So how deep is the rabbit hole when it comes to this? I mean, you said how many emails were sent out and stuff. How many more people are going
So,
to be involved in this by the end of it?
so Gruden's emails was just over 600. It was 600 emails for Gruden that they released. And they said there are 650,000 more emails
Yeah.
over that time frame that they're not going to release because they got their scapegoat.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it, I mean,
It
you
was a
know,
headhunt for Jon Gruden. It
well, and
really
then the
was.
owners, like, some of these owners can be involved in it. Is the
Oh no,
Redskins owner going to get, not the Redskins, the Washington football team owner going to get in trouble? Like how
he's part of
many?
the 650,000 emails.
Yeah.
Was the owner of the Washington football team,
Yeah.
and same with Jerry Jones. Same with what's his name, Robert Kraft. There's emails from those guys as well, and like there was emails that Gruden was calling them out
Yeah.
personally and was like, this is what they're doing wrong. They're not giving a shit about the players. They only care about their money. And like he went off.
Yeah.
And I mean, he went off rightfully so, but he did it in the wrong manner.
Yeah.
He messed up. And I can't defend how he did it, but I can defend what he did because he was trying to defend the players. He messed up.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
his word choice was not graceful.
Yeah, to say in the least.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just seems very very odd. And like you said, it was like a headhunt. So it'll be interesting to see going forward how much this progresses. And like I said, I think Gruden is gonna walk away with some money, not all the money he deserved or owed or whatever, but I think he's going to get some money because they want him to stay quiet about this and they don't want him to oust people like you were saying, and then it be a bigger thing and a bigger deal. So I think they're going to be like, here's some, like, money to,
Hush money.
hush money, keep you a shh. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's like how it's going to play out, and especially how it's going to kill his career. Like, he's not
Yeah,
going to
he's
be able
never
to
going to
coach
work in the.
anywhere ever again.
Nope. He's never going to deal with football ever again. Like no level of football will ever accept him again.
Yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. So they'll give him some money to be able to help him just live the rest of his life. He won't be able to go back to broadcasting. He won't be able to do anything.
I
So
think if they give him money, we see this swept under the rug. And we know that at that point they gave him money. However, if they don't give him money, he's going to sue the NFL to release those other 650,000 emails.
yeah, I
Because
mean,
he's like he is going to come with the fact that he should not be the scapegoat.
well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blame him, when it comes to that. And I know a lot of people have been like defending him in the sense of like, okay, well, like, why are they reading his emails? Those are his personal emails. Why are they being publicized? And, why?
He's a public figure. It is what it is.
Yeah. So,
Like if I honestly, if I emailed somebody in my company
yeah,
shit like that, I'd be fired. Anybody would. Like honest to God, they would be fired. If I emailed somebody in my company and was like, the CEO of my company is a piece of shit, he's a cocksucking faggot, I would be fired.
yeah. But those emails would probably get looked at very quickly. Why all of a sudden now everybody cares about what he said 10 years ago? Like, you know, why all of a sudden now they decided to dig up these emails? They could have dug them up at any point in time before he even got hired. Like,
It's because the owner of the Washington football team threw him under the bus. They were investigating him, and
yeah.
he's like, "Hey, here's all these emails from Jon Gruden."
Here,
To
take the
cover
focus off of me,
it was to cover his ass.
Yeah. No, that's understandable when it comes to that. Well, we'll keep everyone posted on this. We'll see how the assistant coach can do for the Raiders for the rest of the season. Basically, I mean, they're not going to be able to replace a new head coach now, so we'll see going forward. Maybe you guys will get one of those young college coaches to come up and take over.
No, you know who the front runner is right now? Eric
What?
Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy,
Oh, okay.
the
Who?
offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
Oh, for the Chiefs. Oh, okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
he's kind of the front runner. They obviously won't poach him this year, but Rich Bisaccia is going to cover. He's going to be there the rest of this year, which is awesome because he's already announced that Greg Olson is going to be the offensive coordinator and handle all of the offensive plays. Rather than Gruden handling all the offensive plays, it's going to go to Greg Olson.
The former tight end, Greg Olson.
No, the offensive coordinator.
I know, but you hear Greg Olson and you just think
Yeah.
the tight end that used to play for the Panthers.
Now I'm excited to see what happens because the players have all come together and said, let's put this behind us. You know, we had a tough Sunday because a lot of this stuff was coming out and we didn't know really how to react to it. And so we kind of had that in our forefront. Now this is in our forefront, but at the same time, we're able to look at this and be like, let's move forward. We're done.
Yeah.
So the players are ready to play. They're all excited to play for Bisaccia. They're all excited to play for Olson and for Gus Bradley. So I'm hoping that they play well, but we've already spent 17 minutes on this now. It's the big thing in the news, but I mean, I said my piece. I don't know if you have though.
Yeah, I have. Like I said, I got out all my conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So I feel good now. saying my piece. So the next thing that we're going to talk about real quick is the college football rankings. Crazy weekend that happened previously. Number one at the time, Alabama goes down to unranked Texas A&M, which no one in a million years thought was going to happen. You didn't think that was going to happen. Shut your mouth.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I said that they won't be in the top 4 after this week.
Well, yeah, after they lost. I mean, you didn't think they were going to lose to Texas A&M, though. Like,
Sure, I
no,
did.
uh,
No, I didn't. I thought they were going to clean house with Texas A&M. I was honestly surprised.
yeah, I mean, everyone did. And the rankings as they are right now, I think are still going to change. I feel like they're going to change before the playoffs actually happen. Right now, it's number one, Georgia, obviously getting bumped up since Alabama lost. Number 2, they put Iowa because they're 6-0. Number
And
3
they're
is
beast.
number 3 is Cincinnati at 5-0, which I think they have a good chance of staying in. I think them and Georgia, I don't know about Iowa, but Georgia and Cincinnati, I think have a good chance of staying in the top 4. And then number 4 is Oklahoma, who at 6-0, which is kind of ridiculous because they were playing against Texas in the Red River rivalry, and Texas was up by like almost 30 points at one point. So they bench Radler, who everyone thought was going to be the number 1 prospect in the NFL draft coming up this year. Like everyone thought he was going to be the number 1 pick, and he gets benched in the second half to the freshman quarterback Williams, who then leads a miraculous comeback to end up beating Texas like by a ridiculous score. It was like by the end, it was like 48-45 or something like that, like some nutty score where they were lining up to kick a field goal to like win the game. And then Oklahoma runs the ball with like 10 seconds left just to set up the field goal, and he ends up taking it to the house and scoring. So, I mean, the the fact that Oklahoma has had such a hard time against all of these teams, I don't feel like they should be in the top four. I feel like they could be at number 5. I think Alabama should still be number 4. Even
I
though
think put Michigan in.
I mean, Michigan is at 6-0. They're at number 8 right now.
I think they deserve a bit more than Oklahoma does.
Yeah, that's true. Michigan State's looking really good though, too, at 6-0.
Yeah.
And they're ranked 10th. So I think if Michigan and Michigan State keep on winning, and especially whoever wins that matchup between the two of them, between Michigan and Michigan State, will definitely get bumped up, like, because they're both highly ranked and they're going to play each other eventually. So that'll be an interesting matchup once they face each other. And then Alabama potentially could face Georgia in the SEC championship game. So
Yep.
that could be a big determining factor as well if Alabama ends up getting in or not, if they go the rest of the way, winning all the rest of their games going forward.
I think that's what it's going to be because Georgia's not going to lose the rest of the year. I don't believe Iowa is going to lose the rest of the year. And I don't believe Cincinnati's going to lose the rest of the year. But I think it's going to come to the SEC championship to determine if Alabama gets back in. Because if Alabama can beat Georgia, obviously you have to put them back in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it depends on Michigan as well. If Michigan beats Michigan State, if they beat Ohio State, then that could be a determining factor to let them in.
Yeah. But at that point, who do you take out?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
say Alabama beats Georgia. You obviously put them back in, but do you take Georgia out to put in Michigan? Or do you take out Cincinnati to put in Michigan?
Well, it depends if Cincinnati wins out or not. If Cincinnati wins out, then they earn their spot. That means you would have to take Georgia out.
But would you really allow Alabama back in just for beating Georgia?
Yeah. If they beat the number 1 team in the country, if Georgia's still ranked number 1 by then yeah, like you beat the number 1 team. So
you kick Georgia out just because they lost to the previous number 1 team.
Yeah.
And keep in Iowa and Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yeah. As long as Iowa and Cincinnati wins out, yeah. And then Oklahoma, I don't think will win out. So I think Oklahoma will get out, and one of the other teams will get in. So it would be Alabama in because they beat Georgia. Then it would be Iowa, Cincinnati, and then if Michigan, like I said, wins out, then they would be the last one. And then Georgia.
I'd rather see Georgia in there. This is why they need like 6 to 8 teams.
That's true.
Because there are 6 to 8 teams that really deserve it.
That's true. Yeah. And especially since some of the top ranked teams play each other in big matchups like Alabama and Georgia in the SEC championship game. So
yeah,
that makes sense. Alrighty, well, let's look at the baseball playoffs updates. So let's see.
Nobody cares about those.
Apparently not, but I still like to go over it. But the Astros went out their series against the White Sox. They end up beating them 10-1 in their the 4th game. So they ended up
cheaters prosper.
Yeah, 3-1. And then the Braves won their series against the Brewers. They won their game 5-4. So they won the series 3-1.
Got to root for the Braves the rest of the way.
There you go. And then the Dodgers beat the Giants 7-2. So now their series is tied 2-2.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the Giants already locked them out. Huh. Okay.
No, the game is tomorrow. So this will be the final game to see who goes through to face the Braves. So their series is tied 2-2. So tomorrow we'll see how that plays out. And then the the Red Sox beat out the Rays in their series, which was a big shocker to me. I didn't think that they were going to be able to beat the Rays. But
They beat them pretty soundly too.
yeah, they did. Do I think they have a chance against the Astros? No.
No,
Like, I think the Astros end up beating them out. So I
the
think
Astros could sweep.
yeah. So it would be the Astros going back to the series again. And then they would either face the Braves or the Dodgers or the Giants, depending who wins in the Dodgers Giants series. I think whoever wins out, like the Dodgers or Giants, whoever wins that series, they'll beat the Braves.
I
Either
don't
one
think
of those
so.
teams could beat the Braves. Both
I
of
don't
them
think
could.
so.
No.
No.
So you think it would be Braves Astros?
Yeah. I was rooting for the White Sox because I just want them to beat the damn cheaters.
Well, I mean,
So
everybody roots against the Astros other than Astros fans. Like, they're the only ones that,
same with the Yankees. Everybody roots against the Yankees unless you're a Yankees fan.
Yep, that's very true. And their series, their wild card game against the Red Sox came down to the wire. So,
Yeah, it did.
it could have gone either way. But the Red Sox make it through when it comes to that. Alrighty, so yeah, like I said, not much going on in those standings. We got to wait for the Dodgers Giants game tomorrow to see who's going to move on with that, and then we'll know more. So yeah, let's get into our NFL action then. We like to, as always, do our top 5, bottom 5 of the week. And the power rankings that I saw on NFL Network, because I follow them on Facebook, was very interesting, to say in the least, for some of the teams that they had in their top 5. But as always, we like to start with the worst of the worst. So we start with the bottom 5. We like to start on the sour note, and then we go to the top 5. Oh,
I went first. I went first last week.
You went first last week, so I get to start. Well, little backstory to starting off with this bottom 5. Someone, not going to mention any names, texted me all excited. I got my upset pick. And I go, look at the score again there, bud. Double check that. Discount, double check. And someone was a little saddened to see that their upset pick did not go through.
It should have.
They lost at the end by a last second field goal. So
freaking Dan Bailey.
So number 5, I'm gonna put the Jacksonville Jaguars. They still have not won, so they're 0-5, so they get to stay at number 5. Right after them, because someone wanted me to take them out of the bottom 5 if they won their game, but they didn't. The Detroit Lions. So they get to stay in the bottom 5. I'm not giving Goff any credit. He can win a game, then I'll give him some credit. So in number 4, I at least put them above the Jaguars. They get a little bit of credit, but they're still 0-5, just like the Jaguars. Then at number 3, I'm going to put the Giants. Saquon Barkley went down in the game again, as normal.
3 years in a row.
Yep. And then Daniel Jones went out with a concussion. I think they said he's good to play for this week, but
that was a dirty ass hit, though. Let's be real. Did you see the hit on him?
I mean, Daniel Jones lowered his head. He was trying to score. So
yeah, he was trying to score, but that's still, like, the defender dropped his helmet straight into freaking Daniel Jones's helmet. Like, he was targeting Daniel Jones's head. Like, that was dirty.
I mean, yeah, it potentially could have been, yeah. So yeah, the Giants, and then let's see, 5, 4, 3, 2, the second worst team in the NFL. Oh my goodness. Trying to think who I should put there. I'm gonna put the Dolphins, because they're 1-4, man. Like they're looking awful. And then well, yeah, I'll put the Dolphins. And then the fifth worst team in the NFL, I'm gonna put the Texans. The Texans look garbage. What?
The Falcons aren't in your bottom five anymore?
I mean, what, they're 2-3 right now, aren't they?
Yeah, but they still suck.
Hey, I mean, based on record right now, Texans are 1-4 and the Dolphins are 1-4. They're looking like garbage. So yeah, that's gonna be my bottom five. Sounds like you're gonna put the Falcons in yours.
Maybe. I don't know. You make a valid point. So it's really funny. My bottom five, the absolute worst team in the league. I go with you, Jacksonville Jaguars. So really funny. Before we started the podcast, I was on Facebook and I was talking to my cousin, and he posted a memory from 8 years ago that said, Jacksonville Jaguars fans be like, we finally won the coin toss. I was like, dude, that aged so well.
It did.
Like
It really
8 years and it's still relevant. That's
still valid.
amazing. So yeah, so I have to put Jacksonville number five. Like, dude, they got their heir apparent. They got Urban Meyer. Like, how's he still a coach? Why wasn't he fired?
Right?
Like,
Give it time.
yeah, he's gonna get fired for a shitty record, not for rubbing up on a college girl. Like, dirty ass old man. I haven't liked him since he left Utah. So anyway, so yeah, Jacksonville, and then I'm gonna have to agree with you because they let me down. They broke my heart. The Lions at number four.
Oh, they've been in every game.
They have. They were in that game, but dude, they can't finish games. And you know what it honestly is proving? That Jared Goff was the problem for the Rams. And Matthew Stafford was not the problem for the Lions.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Stafford is having an MVP season. Like, he's third highest yardage. He has like the second least amount of freaking interceptions. And he's like third in touchdowns right now. Like, he's a top five quarterback this year.
Yeah.
And I think he always has been, but he's just had a shit team around him that couldn't win. Like, oh, they had a great offense when they had freaking Megatron, but their defense was garbage, absolute garbage. So yeah, Lions number four. I'm gonna switch mine around from you a little bit and put the
Alright.
Dolphins at number three,
All right.
and then number four. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Giants, and then number five, Texans. So mine are the same as yours, other than I think the Giants are a little better than the Dolphins this year. Like,
Fair enough.
they still suck, but like I just, the Texans have no hope at all. Like, they're a stupid team. Like,
That's just a
who-
great description. They're a stupid team.
who the hell trades like the overall best wide receiver in the NFL? Like, arguably the best wide receiver. Can be argued because Devontae Adams is up there, Julio Jones is up there. You know, there's a few receivers that are actually really good. But who the hell trades arguably the best wide receiver for an old beat up running back? And it was pretty much a straight across trade because they had draft picks included too.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much a straight across trade. DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson. David Johnson had one good year. One. And then he's been injured every freaking year since. He's Saquon Barkley before Saquon was Barkley.
Yeah, that's
He,
very true.
to quote Barkley, he's terrible.
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 Terrible. All right, top five. You get to start off.
Top five. Number five best team in the NFL. I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. Have to. They're still a good team. They're scary defense. And teams don't want to play them. Like, they went after Russell Wilson. They knocked Russell Wilson out of the game. And I had Seahawks fans that are, I have friends that are Seahawks fans and they're like, Donald was playing dirty. I'm like, no, Russell Wilson like tried to throw a ball into Aaron Donald. Like, it doesn't work. You're gonna mess your hand up every time. But so yeah, I'll put them at number 5.
Alrighty.
Number 4. This one was kind of hard for me, but I think I have to kind of go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
They're 4-1, and they look scary right now. Like, their defense is actually playing defense, and Dak looks good. I hate the Cowboys so much. I think they're my second most hated team behind the Broncos. So yeah, there's that. Number 3, I'm gonna put the Buffalo Bills. I think that they're scary, and they could potentially be number 1. Like, to be honest, but right now I have to put them at number 3 because the other 2 teams are just so damn dominating that it's making me sick to watch them. Number 2, Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, you finally did it. You put them in there.
The way they've been playing and the way that they came back on the Browns.
Yeah.
And Herbert matching the Browns touchdown for touchdown. Like, I mean, it also helped that my wife has Herbert for her quarterback, and he got like 40 some points. Like, dude, he was good against the Browns. The Browns was the test, honest to God. Like, every other team they played, yeah, the Chiefs were kind of a test, but the Browns were the test.
Yeah.
If they could get past the Browns, they can beat anybody because they've already beat the Chiefs. They've already beat the Raiders. They're probably gonna win the division. As much as I hate to say that, they're a playoff team. And Justin Herbert is the first quarterback in NFL history to throw over 300 yards in 10 games in his first 2 seasons. And he's only 19 games in.
Man. Yeah, so he's on good pace.
Yeah. He's breaking records already. Like, that kid is, I think he's better. He's going to have a better career than what's the stupid Jaguars name with the long hair?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, brain farting. Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow or Zach Wilson. He's going to have a better career than all of them. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of it all, he is one of the top greatest quarterbacks of all time.
I wouldn't be surprised for like Chargers, in the sense of Chargers. Like, he's gonna break like Phillip Rivers like type records, you know.
I honestly could see him being potentially a top 10 quarterback of all time, as long as he keeps playing it the way he's playing.
Yeah.
You know, if he falls off and just starts sucking, then obviously it's going to go away, you know. But if he's playing at the high level that he's playing now, he doesn't have a sophomore slump. He never had a freshman slump. He got thrown into a game never practicing with first squad.
Yeah.
They struggled last year to finish games. They're not struggling this year. They're playing their asses off. And of course, the number 1 team, I have to put the only undefeated team in the NFL, because like the dismantling that they did of the Rams defense, nobody's been able to do that like ever. That Rams defense is too potent, and Kyler Murray shredded them. I know you're a Rams fan and it hurts to hear that, but that little 5'8" bastard shredded them. Like, that's insane.
That's true. And I mean, your top one and top two teams have quarterbacks that are in the MVP chase right now as well. So that kind of makes sense. So,
Yeah.
all right,
But yeah,
awesome.
just to clarify, that's the Arizona Cardinals, number one.
Yeah, the Cardinals. Yeah,
But I
awesome.
didn't actually say that.
Well, I like it. I like your top five. I might make a little changes, some differences on mine. Um,
I can already guess that you're not going to have the Cowboys in yours.
no, I'm not. At number five, and like I said, you usually disagree with some of the ones that I put in my top five or bottom five anyways, but number five, I'm actually going to put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady coming off of another 5 TD game. Other than their secondary, they're looking pretty good. If their secondary, can get a little bit healthier, they're going to be doing really well again. So number five, got to put the Tampa Bay Bucks. Number four, I'm gonna bump up one from yours. My LA Rams, I'm gonna put at four. I don't think they need to be at five. I think four is a pretty good spot for them. So I'm gonna put them at number four. We got some easy games coming up here that we can kind of pad some stats, hopefully, and get some more confidence, some more momentum going into. And like you said, Stafford in that game, he freaking dislocated his finger. He still went out and threw the hell out of the ball and won the game for us. He is one tough bastard. So really high hopes for him. And he's kind of been in the talk for MVP as well, which is pretty cool. And
I'd love to see him win it. I'm just going to say that.
yeah,
I would. I'd absolutely love it.
and Cooper Kupp, the leading receiver in almost all areas because of it this year. Like who knew that he was going to be the top wide receiver in the NFL right now?
You did. Rocking that cup.
This is his old number. This is his old number because they did the whole new numbers for jerseys this year, but this was his old number.
Isn't he like number 10 now or something?
He's 10. Yeah, he's 10
Yeah.
now. But yeah, and then number three, I'm gonna put the Chargers. Not as high on your list, obviously, one down from where you had them. To be honest, my number two is gonna explain why they're number three. The Bills. The Bills are number two for me. I feel like the Bills, if they played the Chargers, the Bills would win. Their defense is a lot better. I mean,
I would give that to them, but I think the Chargers defense could hold Josh Allen.
I mean, the way he played against the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs have a terrible defense right now, like the way that he like leapt over that defender in that game, like that was sick. Like when Josh Allen,
dude, he's 6'5".
Yeah,
The
like
defender he leapt over was 5'9".
it was still awesome to see from a quarterback. Like so, it was pretty boss. And Josh Allen, I feel like is kind of a dark horse MVP as well. He's kind of fighting with Herbert and Murray. So number one, of course, like you said, the only undefeated team, the Cardinals. So you got to keep the undefeated team at number one until they lose. So gonna keep.
So I'm gonna throw this out here. We're a quarter of the way through the league.
What
right?
The season?
Of the season. Yeah, we're a quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah.
Right now, if you had to pick, who would be your Super Bowl favorites?
From both sides?
Yep.
Oh man. Like I said, probably the Bills, and then I'm biased, but I would want my Rams to be the favorite, obviously. But because I feel like we could beat the Cardinals if we change our defensive scheme to be able to stop Murray from running. If we can stop Murray from using his legs, then I feel like we would have a chance. So
good picks.
That'd be a crazy Super Bowl seeing the Bills and the Rams. So, but
yeah,
But yeah, so yeah, there's our top five, bottom five. Our top five was a lot different than our bottom five. Our bottom five was basically the same. There was only like a couple like shifts around when it comes to that. So um, you gave the Chargers a little bit more love. Oh, did you cut out again? Yeah. Well,
Is
I
that
don't.
better?
Okay, yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I muted myself.
I like heard you on the
There's
phone. It was weird. Like you couldn't
there's
hear you on
buttons
the
back
computer.
here that I accidentally bumped one because my head itched.
Yeah, I like couldn't hear you on the computer, but I could hear you on the phone. So that was like really interesting.
Nice. So
Um,
since you answered my question,
yeah,
I want to answer it as well.
yeah,
I could see from the NFC the Rams as well. And from
nice.
the AFC, this one's a little harder. I mean, I could see the Bills going, but I could also see the Chargers actually going.
Okay, so what you're saying is SoFi Stadium, who is hosting the Super Bowl, would have both of their teams playing in the Super Bowl at home.
How awesome would that be?
That would be nuts. That would be so crazy.
It
Like
would be,
either way, the home team would win, like the Super Bowl.
right? I mean, I could see it happening, but I don't think the Chargers really are ready for that. I don't think they're good enough for it. Eckler's playing at a very high level, though. Like, I will give that guy props. Like, it was funny watching the Raiders game. They mentioned his nickname. What is it? They call him PFP. Pound for pound, the strongest
Oh,
football player
yeah.
in the NFL.
Yeah, pound for pound. Yeah.
They call him pound for pound. They said pound for pound, he is the strongest player in the NFL. He's even stronger than Aaron Donald, pound for pound wise.
Yeah.
Like if he was the same weight as Aaron Donald, they would have a tough matchup to see who would be the strongest. Like Eckler is a freaking monster. Like
Yeah.
I never realized just how good he was, but he just runs people over. He doesn't even care.
That
He
is very true.
doesn't stiff arm people like Derrick Henry. Like Henry's got that stiff arm.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of beast mode. Let's just run people over.
Yeah, Lynch. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's very true. Well, before we move on to doing our NFL picks of the week that we like to get into, a couple games that kind of just point out and some things that stood out to both of us. So I'll start with the Chiefs Bills game. Two things that stood out to me. One, the refereeing was terrible in that game.
Terrible.
Absolutely terrible. Like, I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm not a Bills fan, but I wouldn't want those type of calls made on my team if my team was playing. Like, there was like a roughing the passer call that was called on like third down that would have made it fourth down, that the Chiefs would have gotten the ball back. And the roughing the passer was so terrible because like Josh Allen was like throwing it, and as he's throwing it, he's getting like tackled in like his midsection. And as he's like going down, the only thing the commentator could say was like, oh, maybe they're calling it because he like drove him into the ground, but he didn't even like drive him hard. Like he basically just did a normal like wrap up, and they called roughing the passer, and they got an automatic first down from it. And there was no excuse for it. There was no need to call that whatsoever. And there were so many like calls where the announcers were just like, oh, that's not needed, or that didn't need to be called, or whatever. Like it was just so bad. And the other thing to point out from that game was, and I can't believe that I'm saying this, the Chiefs have had the same amount of turnovers as the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. The same amount of turnovers. Like, that is nuts that they are on the same level as the Jacksonville Jaguars for turnovers. Like, whoever thought that was gonna happen. Now, of course, in that game, there was a pick six that Mahomes threw where it literally hit Tyreek Hill like this in stride, and it like went through his hands, and the defender behind him caught it and then ran it in for a pick six. That's not Mahomes' fault. That's on Tyreek Hill for not closing his hands when it like hits him. So, but whoever thought in a million years that the Chiefs would have the same amount of turnovers as the Jacksonville Jaguars? Oh, you can't. I can hear you on the phone, but not on the mic. No, still not yet. Nope. Nope. No.
Now?
Okay, now you're good.
Okay. Sometimes this thing's dumb. But anyway, Colin Cowherd actually put the Chiefs in his bottom 5 simply because of the expectations of the Chiefs and what they've actually done this year.
Yeah.
So that's a pass that Tyreek Hill normally catches. And see, the commentators put that one on Tyreek Hill. But when the Raiders were playing the Ravens and Carr hit Willie Snead in the hands and it ended up going through his hands, it bounced off the Ravens,
His helmet.
bounced off his helmet and
Yeah.
was picked off. They said that was Derek Carr's fault. He threw it too hard. Like, you're a receiver. It doesn't matter how hard that shit's thrown to you. You catch that ball if it's in your hands.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Darren Waller would have caught it. Hunter Renfrow would have caught it.
Yeah.
But no. Honestly, the game that stood out to me was the Bucks. Like, just Brady. Dude, he's really the last true pocket passer in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at every single quarterback in the NFL, they all have scrambling skills.
Yeah.
Everyone, even the old guys that are in the league, like Matt Stafford, he can still scramble. He can get out of the pocket and he can scramble. Brady really is the only true pocket passer left in the NFL. And you'd think, because of how damn slow he is, that defenses would be able to get to him. But he throws under pressure like none other.
Well, and he has the quickest release in the NFL.
Second.
Oh, second, sorry.
Second quickest release in the NFL. Quickest is Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers is still a scrambler. He can scramble. Brady, if you've ever seen him run, that shit's funny. Like, he looks like a retarded antelope. With no speed. It's I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say the R word, but yeah, no, he looks terrible when he runs. But the dude is 44 years old, leading the league in passing yards, leading the league in touchdown passes. Like, 44 years old.
Yeah.
The last 40-plus-year-old that actually did anything was Brett Favre at 41 when he went 12-1 with the Vikings and then retired.
And then came back again.
No, he actually, so he came back the next year, messed his ankle up and just retired. He was like, I'm done.
Yeah, because that's when he came back and played for the Jets.
No, he played for the Jets before he played for the Vikings.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other way around. Huh.
Nope. He went from Green Bay. He retired from Green Bay, decided to come back. The Jets picked him up. He played a year with the Jets, retired, came back because the Vikings picked him up. Like, the Vikings offered him money, and he played all the way. He went 12-1. Or, yeah, no, 12 and. Did he go 12-4?
Yeah, I can't remember, but he made it to the like NFC Championship game and then like lost to I can't remember who they lost to.
I want to say it was the Saints.
It might have been.
That was the year that Breeze won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it might have been that year. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he retired. Like, he was done. but Brady's 44 years old. There's only been a handful of players that have played that long in the league, and they definitely did not produce.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's standing out to me because I think Brady found the fountain of youth, man. I really do, because he doesn't look 44. Dude, I'm not even 40 and I look older than he does.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I agree. He's just not sharing the knowledge with us.
so I mean, that's what really stood out. I want to say that that game stood out to me because he threw for like 411 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like, that's a record for somebody his age.
Yeah.
Absolutely a record for somebody his age. I don't even remember who they beat. I don't even care.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember either.
I
Wasn't
don't
that
even
good. Wasn't even that good of a team, I don't think.
No, I don't even care who they beat. All I know is Tom Brady. As much as I've always hated that guy, ever since the Tuck rule in 2001, 20 years ago, which every single person on that Raiders team that played against him is retired. I think every player that played with him on the Patriots team is retired
Yep.
in 2001. So I've hated him this long, ever since he got the starting gig. And yeah, but to watch him still play this good at 44, I'm impressed, and I tip my hat to him. I really, really do. Like, this is just, I don't know what to say. Like, watching him this year is fun.
Hey, there you go. We'll see if he can keep the magic going again for another Super Bowl run or not. So
They
we'll
won't win
see.
the Super Bowl this year.
Hey, we'll see. We didn't think they'd win it last year either, and they did. So, alrighty. Well, let's get into our picks of the week. NFL picks of the week. The current standings in the NFL picks of the week: Matty Lukewarm Ice at 61-26, and Chris the Gorilla Binder at 59-28. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, saying is trying to reconnect since I had looked at the score real quick, so hopefully it'll reconnect here.
No, it says you're done recording. Uh-oh.
Sad day. Okay, well, let me just.
I've got the games. So
All right, here.
there's 6 teams on bye weeks this week. Bye
Yeah,
weeks have begun.
yeah. The bye weeks have begun. This is very true. Here, let me send out the thing again. I didn't think it would do that just from me looking at the recordings. So, or not the recordings, but the record. The nice little anchor music there. All right, now we're back. So with that, if anyone missed on the audio side of things, so I am up and ahead in the NFL picks of the week. And I think that trend will continue to rise
Nope.
as we keep going forward, because somebody got their lock and their upset pick this week. So,
We keep switching that off. You realize that, right?
yeah.
Like, one week you get it, you get both. Next week I get both. Next week you get both. And every time the other person misses one. It'd be really funny if we would both get it at the same damn time.
I
don't think
one
we've
of the
done that
weeks,
yet.
it was like week 1 or week 2, we both got our upsets and our locks. I can't remember which week it was, but yeah, we had done pretty good and gotten both of them.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with the first matchup, which is the Thursday night football. The 4-1 Bucks versus the 2-3 Eagles. In the week, the Eagles coming off of a win, surprisingly. Who
What are
they
you talking about?
beat?
I called that.
I
I
didn't think
call.
I didn't think they would. You didn't get that right.
Yeah,
You
I did.
you did not. Let me see who they play again. I can't remember. Son of a gun. No, I want week 5. Who was it? The Panthers. Yeah, no. Both of us picked the Panthers in that game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't.
No, if you remember our conversation, I said I think the Eagles could sneak this one out, but I'm actually going to go for the Panthers because just in case.
Yeah, there you go. So since someone is behind, they get to go first.
Bucks. Tom Brady's going to continue his trend of shredding shitty defenses, and the Eagles have a shitty defense.
That is very true. Yeah, I'm
So
going with the Bucks
Bucks.
as well. Yeah, I'm going with
There's
the
our winners. They're
Bucks.
going to stab the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely going with the Bucks. The first matchup on Sunday will be the 4-1 Rams versus the 1-4 Giants.
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, I go by the ESPN lineup.
Oh, I went off NFL.com lineup. Hold on, let me find that game. Gosh.
I'll let you do the rest of them since you have it lined up.
Oh no, I'll just move everything around. Oh, it's the Rams and the Giants, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got that one right here. Rams and the Giants, and you get to pick first. That's why you put these guys up here.
Yep, I'm gonna go with my Rams. They're in my top 5, so definitely going with the Rams. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Really?
Yeah, why wouldn't I pick
Really?
the Rams? You think the Giants are gonna win?
No, I don't, but this is my lock. I
There
thought
you
you
go.
were going to go for the lock ahead of me. So I'm locking it in with the Rams.
The sun going down.
Especially with like their best player out, Barkley. Like the
Yeah,
Giants aren't going to do shit.
yeah. And Daniel Jones, who knows? I mean, I think they said he's gonna play, but still, even if he's gonna play, it's not gonna help them that much. Um, the next matchup is the 2-3 Chiefs versus the 2-3 Washington football team.
Washington? Did you really just say Washington?
Yeah, I'm from Virginia. That's how you pronounce
There's no R in Washington. Look, tell me where the R is.
it. The R is in my twang.
I get to pick this first.
Yeah.
This one's hard because honestly, like logic says the Chiefs should win,
Yeah.
but logic says the Chiefs should be 5-0. They're 2-3.
Yeah.
And they're going against one of the better defenses in the league. So I have to go with the Chiefs.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well on this one. I think this is what's gonna give them their confidence. It's gonna give them a little confidence boost.
Yeah.
Even though they have the worst ranked defense in the NFL, they allow on average over 400 yards like per game. It's so bad.
Which is weird because they have good players on their defense, like freaking Frank Clark and L'Jarius Sneed and Tyrann Mathieu. Like they have good defenders, but together they're not playing well.
Yeah. Talking about not playing well, the next matchup is the 1-4 Dolphins versus the 0-5 Jaguars.
Oh my God. You get to pick this first.
Oh dear God, this is terrible. My oh my.
That didn't sound like a dolphin at all. I'm sorry.
It
That was
didn't.
terrible.
Heck
was
with it.
terrible.
I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. They get their first W. Let's do it. Let's go. Trevor Lawrence looked, better the last couple games. So let's get it. Let's get it.
Dun dun dun. Upset pick.
Oh, going with his upset pick. Upset pick of the week. He's got his lock and his upset already done. You
Yep.
always go early, man. You always get it done quick. I like it.
That's what my wife says too.
Got him. Next matchup is the 4-1 Packers versus the 3-2 Bears. The Bars. I get to go first with this one, right? So
No, you don't. I do.
oh, you do. That's right. Because I
Yeah.
picked to go first.
Hey, look, it's shit in a toilet. Don't spit your Mountain Dew on your computer, bro. But that looks like shit in a toilet, and it's going to continue looking like shit in a toilet when the Packers spank the hell out of them.
I was gonna say, I mean, the Bears looked pretty good against the Raiders.
No, the Raiders didn't even show up to that game. They did not look good. Justin Fields threw for 111 yards. They had almost 200 yards rushing against the Raiders defense because the Raiders didn't even show up. But Justin Fields had 111 yards and was sacked 5 times. No, they didn't look good. The Raiders just shit the bed.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers on this one as well.
Okay.
As long as their field goal kicker remembers how to kick a field goal, then the Packers will be all right.
What are you talking about? Crosby's money, dude.
Them against the Bengals, he missed 4 kicks.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I didn't realize that. Normally he's automatic. But to be fair, this was not the week of kickers
No, it was not.
for any of them.
Tucker was the only one that was like safe.
Yeah. Every kicker besides Tucker missed this week.
Yeah, it was not a week for kickers, like you said. Next matchup is the 3-2 Bengals versus the 0-5 Lions.
And just to talk about kickers, I think Rodrigo Blankenship, the kicker for the Colts, won't have a job. I think he's going to get let go.
Yeah, after missing that easy kick to win the game at the end.
Dude,
yeah.
He missed an extra point, got a field goal blocked, a 28-yard field goal blocked, and then the 30, I think it was like a 38-yarder to win the game. He missed bad.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't even close. I don't think he has a job after this week.
Well, we shall see. With this matchup, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. They actually are looking pretty decent this year. They took it to the Packers. If their kicker could have made a field goal, they would have won. So
right,
I mean, both kickers combined, I think they missed 6 total field goals combined.
Jesus.
So yeah,
that's terrible. These guys get paid to do nothing but kick balls. Like that's it. Kick a ball through the uprights. That's it. They do nothing else. Okay. I could hear myself yell that. That was kind of funny through the phone. I'm going to go Bengals as well.
The Bengals. Awesome. Next matchup is a scintillating matchup of the 1-4 Texans versus the 1-4 Colts. And you get to go first.
Why do I not have this one? I did not see that game. Give me a second. So there's only 4 teams that have bye weeks.
Oh, you didn't know it was that one?
Yeah, I was going through. I didn't even see this game on the list. So.
Yeah, the ones that have the byes are the Falcons, the Saints, the Jets, and the Niners.
Yeah. So I get to go first on this one.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to take the Colts because the only reason that they lost their game was Rodrigo Blankenship. That was it. Like against, wasn't it the Ravens?
Yes, the Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah. They actually showed up and they played well against the Ravens. And like you could see Lamar Jackson, like when they get down the field to kick the final field goal to win the game, Lamar Jackson just hung his head. Like he was like, oh God, we just lost to this shitty team. And then when he missed, like everybody starts cheering and he looks up and he goes, oh, and he jumps up like he wasn't even paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Like, So I'm actually going to go with the Colts on this one because I think the Texans are a worse team.
Yeah. Yeah. They're in the bottom, both of our bottom fives. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts as well on this one. Faux show. The next matchup is the 2-3 Vikings versus the 3-2 Panthers. And I get to start off on this one. So I'm gonna go with my upset pick on this one, and I'm gonna go with the Vikings in an upset against the Panthers. The Vikings a little bit on a roll here lately. I mean, they were a field goal away from beating the undefeated Cardinals, so I think they'll beat the Panthers in an upset.
I'm going to go against you on this one.
Oh,
I think the Panthers actually take it to them because they've now lost 2 games in a row and
yeah.
they're pissed off. And Sam Darnold's going to go all out against these guys because they don't really have a strong secondary. Like, yeah, they have Pat Peterson, but that's really about it.
They have Harrison.
He's not playing well. Harrison Smith has not been playing well. He's been letting balls go over his head a lot this year. So he's kind of hurt them a little bit. So yeah, I'm thinking that Sam Darnold is going to make them pay a little bit.
Alrighty, fair enough. All right, next matchup is the 4-1 Chargers versus the 4-1 Ravens. Playing in Baltimore again. Wow.
4-1 Ravens. They're 4-1.
Yeah.
So they're on a 4-game win streak.
Yep.
After they lost to the Raiders. Oh, I go first.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers are the better team. I really do. So I'm actually going to go with the Chargers on this. I think they're going to beat up on the Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens did not look good against the Colts. The Colts basically choked that game away, and like we said, the kicker couldn't make a field goal, but they let the Ravens come back with in that game, which was pretty awful. So yeah, I'm going with the Chargers as well. The Chargers.
I was hoping you would pick against me. We only have 1 game against each other so far.
The next matchup is the 5-0 Cardinals versus the 3-2 Browns.
You go first.
I do indeed. This matchup will be interesting because I mean the Browns were going back and forth with the Chargers like the whole entire game. So I don't know if it was just bad defense or good offense, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. They're 5-0. They're my top team. So yeah, gonna go with them.
Same here. I think the Cardinals beat them up. Myles Garrett will still get a couple sacks against Kyler Murray, but I still think that the Ravens, or not the Ravens. Wow, the Cardinals pull out the win. I think they squeak it out though. I think it's going to be a close game.
Squeak it, squeak, squeak, squeak them. Already the next matchup, 3-2 Raiders versus the 3-2 Broncos.
I had to pick.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to pick the stupid ass donkeys against my team. It's Raiders all day long.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone saw that coming. Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders as well. Hopefully they can have a comeback game that was just god awful against the Bears. And
no, their head wasn't in the game. We already discussed that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully this time their head will be in the game and they'll be able to pull out a win there. Next matchup is the 4-1 Cowboys versus the 2-3 Patriots. So I get to go first. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys as my lock. I'm gonna lock it in that they are gonna beat up on the Patriots. The Patriots have not looked good, especially their young quarterback. I mean, maybe he'll develop into something because right now I think he's the best rookie quarterback with stats right now, like this year. But the Cowboys defense is looking a lot better, and Dak is throwing the ball really well. So yeah, I think the Cowboys will beat up on them.
Exactly the same two things I said to put them in the top 5.
I'm saying their defense looks better than the Patriots, so I'm not saying that they're a top 5 team.
I think they are. The only loss that they have is to the Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah, the opening, yeah,
And they were in that game. Like
yeah,
that was a close game. The only reason they lost that game, they had the lead with a minute 27 left. They just gave Brady too much time.
yeah, they did.
That was it. So yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys on this one as well.
Alrighty, the Sunday night matchup is the 2-3 Seahawks versus the 2-3 Steelers. Russell Wilson now out for I think
they said 4 to 6 weeks, right?
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks after having his surgery on his finger. So that's what happens when you try to throw the ball through the Incredible Hulk.
Dude, did you see the pictures of that?
Yeah.
Like that was gross.
Take my good hand.
That's my good flipper.
Yeah. Take my good hand. So yeah, Geno Smith gonna be the starter for the Seahawks in this game. But you get to pick first.
Juju Smith-Schuster is also out.
The rest of the season, I think, isn't he?
Yeah. So I mean that leaves Claypool to step up in the number 1. And then DeAndre Washington, I think his name, to step up in number 2. So, and Roethlisberger has not looked good at all this year. He looks old.
Yeah.
He looks like he needs to retire. Geno Smith actually looked good on a couple drives after Wilson came in. You know, he actually did look good. He looked like he was ready. He looked like he was poised. And he even said, hey, number 12s, let's get this going.
Yeah.
Like, this one's tough because you got the Steelers, who are typically really good against a backup quarterback in Geno Smith. But I think Geno Smith has a good enough camaraderie with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf to actually have a good game. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Wow, nice. Yeah, I was thinking, Steelers, their defense is pretty good. But I do like the wide receivers for the Seahawks a lot better. I mean, the Steelers have Najee Harris, who's been tearing it up as a rookie running back. But as much as it pains me to say, I think I'm going to go with you on this one and take the Seahawks. I'd love to see them lose again, obviously, with them being in our division, but I think Geno can turn some faces. And then the last matchup is the Monday Night Football matchup, which is the 4-1 Bills versus the 3-2 Titans, which potentially could be a really good game.
It's Clash of the Titans.
The Clash of the Titans. I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one just because I have them in my top 5. I have them at number 2 with that defense. They right now have the best defense in the NFL when it comes to points allowed. Like they only allow like 11 points a game or something stupid like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills.
So last time they played, Derrick Henry made Josh Norman a meme.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They don't have Josh Norman anymore, but I'm not going to lie. I could honestly see this game as the AFC Championship later in the year.
Yeah.
Like both of these teams are that good.
Yeah.
The Titans have kind of struggled a little bit, but I still think they're going to come through, win their division, and just dominate and get through the playoffs. And I could see them facing off in the playoffs. If they go the same route, like in the playoffs, same tree, then obviously they're not going to meet in the AFC Championship. They'll meet before that. But I could see this as a potential AFC Championship game. Just saying. But this week, I think the Bills have the upper hand.
Oh, nice. They got the momentum after getting the monkey off of their back of beating the Chiefs. So
yep. Oh, they didn't just beat the Chiefs. They dismantled the Chiefs. Like that was bad.
So bad. All right. Well, that wraps up our picks of the week. It doesn't sound like we have too many that we went different on this time.
I think there was only one.
So our locks and our upsets are going to be a big determining factor for where that goes. I kind of regret. I probably should have taken the Jaguars as my upset pick, but
Or the Rams is your lock.
I feel like
Against
if
the
I pick
Giants.
I feel like if I pick the Rams as a lock, it's like a jinx. Like for me,
But they're
like not for
going
you. If you
against the
pick them.
Giants.
Not for you. Like if you pick them, that's as a lock, that's fair enough. But I feel like if I pick them as a lock, it's like I'm jinxing them. Like, or the game will be like a lot closer than what I want it to be, type of thing. So, that's the
Either
only
way,
reason
I'm
why.
going perfect this week, and I'm going to take that lead. Oh wait, I can't. I can only be up by one or down by one because it's only one game difference. No, because the game that I picked against you was your upset pick.
The
The Panthers and the Vikings.
and the Vikings, yeah.
You picked it as your upset. I picked the Panthers. So we would be tied if I go perfect.
But if I get that one, then I'll be another one ahead. Well, two ahead of you.
Yeah, I know.
So that, like I said, the lock and the upset is going to be a big determining factor here for this week again. So we'll wrap up things as we always wrap it up with our famous hashtag that we've been using.
Hashtag Earl Thomas still not signed.
Still not signed.
Get a job, you lazy bum.
Pull up your pants, make something of yourself. So
I'm just waiting for him to show up at one of our doors and be like, "What'd you say about me?" Ow, that hurt.
all of a sudden, the side of my screen, a fist just comes like,
Right?
just like out of nowhere.
Like, join our podcast and tell us why you're not signed.
Tell us why you don't have a job in the NFL, Earl Thomas. Come onto our podcast. We're gonna get that trending eventually. I don't care how long it takes. I will hashtag it for 5 years. Like it'll get trending.
Until he legitimately retires.
There you go.
Then we got to pick somebody else.
That, or we just start doing hashtag Earl Thomas retired.
Hashtag Chucky's gone.
Hashtag bye bye Earl. So awesome. Well, as always, we appreciate the love and appreciation. We appreciate the listens, the views. Continue commenting, liking, subscribing, all that fun stuff. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Anchor, all the different places that you can reach us. Any comments or anything like that, we'll always shout out. We'll always give some love. So continue doing that. And until next week, we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Later.
Peace. Poof.